The Edify Show, with special guests Brian Bird, Michael Landon Jr., Ken Lezebnik, Chonda Pierce, Trent Garrett, and Jessie Fentress. And now, the host of The Edify Show, Elliot Wallach.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Edify Show. Today, we've got a plethora of amazing guests, most ever. We've got producers of Wind Calls the Heart, Michael Landon Jr. and Brian Bird, comedian Chonda Pierce, Touched by an Angel writer, Ken Lezebnik, Andy Mack actor Trent Garrett, and teenage actress Jessie Fentress. They're here to talk about their new family-friendly TV series, Home to Harmony, and a chance where you can actually have some ownership in the show. It's a pretty interesting model. It's been working for Angel Studios. They're here to talk about it. Guys, thanks so much for being on the program.
Thanks, Elliot. Thanks, Elliot.
So last time we talked, when we were all together, and now we have Jessie with us too. We were showing the torch, and it was like, is it gonna pass the Guild? You know, for a lot of the people that didn't know what happened, why don't you go ahead and catch them up on what happened, Michael?
Oh, okay. So we passed the torch. Yay! Yeah. So it's pretty competitive. Only 7% pass, and so we were part of the 7%, and we're pretty excited.
You know, so what that is for anybody that's not watching is the Angel Studios has basically, and anybody can be a part of it. If you subscribe to Angel Studios, you can take and start looking at these people that want to make a film, or in your guys' case, want to make a TV show, and they just kind of give it, it's like Caesar, right? Like they just give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Could you describe, what was that like for you guys as you're watching that going, are we going to pass, not pass? Knowing, were all of you watching that as it was unfolding?
Absolutely. I bet Michael and Ken, I'm sure, and Brian were watching it very closely. I was just hoping for work. Feed my children.
We tracked it very closely. It was actually like being at a sort of pennant race where you're going, are we going to make it to the playoffs? And we were celebrating when we did.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We were kind of refreshing our browser about every 5 seconds, hoping the score would go up and hoping the score would continue to increase. So we've finally gotten to that point where we're in the next phase, but it was quite an exciting process.
Yeah, I mean, what a process and what a journey. It's like you thought making the show was hard, just getting this point. Trent, could you describe what the show is about? Describe your character a little bit.
Yeah, so it follows this pastor who leaves his town, can't wait to get out, grows up in the church, and as soon as, I don't know, 18 or 19, at least from my recollection, or maybe I'm just like superimposing my backstory, I don't know at this point. It's all kind of coming together, but he gets out of town, creates a band, is a rock star, sows his oats, and then he finally meets a girl when he's in Brooklyn and falls in love with her. She brings him back to Christ, and then he drops his band, is a pastor at a little church in Brooklyn, gets gobbled up by a mega church, and on that same day he loses his job. His home church back in Harmony, Indiana, the pastorship just it opens up because his old childhood pastor dies, and also, like, a pretty big point to the story, he's a single dad of 2 kids, and Jessie, the incredible Jessie, plays my daughter, and it kind of picks up right there at that point.
May I add that he's a single dad because his wife passed away?
That's also a very big point. Yeah. And
he's going home to his childhood town where his former high school sweetheart still lives. So just to set up the possibilities here, for the future of the show.
Yeah, for anybody that wants to see the torch, you can actually see it on our YouTube page and actually see a very fun interview. You know, Chonda, as I'm looking at you, I had to think, because that was quite the ab workout. Just having that quick interview with you and just the comedy that just rolls off. What were you like on set? What was Chonda like on set? I'm so curious.
Oh, I was wonderful. Oh,
Yeah, let's not go there.
oh, hush. You know what's so funny? I'm listening to Trent tell his backstory, and I'm like, there were two opportunities. I could be the dead wife or the high school girlfriend. No, I'm the snarky church secretary. Now I just want to rethink my entire position. No, it was so much fun. The scariest thing for me is when I came out of the makeup trailer and I saw myself, I almost cried because I looked exactly like my mother and my grandmother and every church secretary I've known for my whole preacher's kid life. So if you see yourself channeled through that particular church secretary, rethink your job.
Now, Jessie, I didn't get a chance. You weren't on the program when we had to welcome you to the show, and I thought you just did a great job. How did you enjoy it? I mean, how did you enjoy working with Michael, Landon, and Brian, and Trent, and Ken, and Chonda? What was that like for you?
The whole experience, I really loved it. I was so nervous after because I was like, if it doesn't get picked up, I'm just never going to see all these people again. And I was really sad. But so when the torch was gaining all the votes, like my whole family we were always looking at the count of votes that we had. And when it passed, we were all just so excited.
Yeah, I would say collectively it was very exciting. And then even again to see it, you know, we're only 7%. I don't think you guys told me that when we went into this. That would have been even more of a panic when you're 93% expecting failure, you know. And I'll pay a compliment to you via Michael, and he'll never let me live this down. But Michael does he really has a habit of picking people that go on to successful careers, you know, early on. You really do have a way with casting. Now, I'm probably going to delete that, but I did say it for you.
Let me tell you something. Jessie is a gem. You will never catch her in a false beat. You'll never catch her acting. She is so natural. She's very gifted. We're blessed to have her on the series.
Trent's not that himself.
When I figured out who was playing my dad, I was really happy because, I mean, just so much other work that he's done. And there were a few times where we were filming and I didn't realize that we were rolling yet. And he was like, we're going, like, you probably want to like just get it all together. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, that's good to know.
Well, I mean, like her performance and just playing opposite her, I was like, oh, okay. Like it really elevated what, you know, the sincerity and authenticity. It was just really easy to play opposite of her. So it was a really fun experience. I do a lot of comedy, so whenever I have an opportunity to like do, you know, a dramedy, I guess, it's a really fun challenge, but it was so easy, you know, with you know, in scenes with her. Thank you.
I was going to say, don't let his hair fool you. Because this guy truly has a pastor's heart.
Aww.
He truly does. He is the most loving, giving person I've met. He's remarkable.
Oh, great.
I love that about this whole team, Elliot. They love people. They show up every day for work, but they're there for the people first.
You know, you've got this team of people that each one of you individually are out trying to make a difference in the world. And I've known Michael and Brian for decades and the difference that they've made even with their body of work outside of Wind Calls the Heart. What can make this happen? Could you talk a little bit about how people can help make this into another show like Wind Calls the Heart that they can enjoy?
You know, we live in a culture now where everything is separated and divided. There used to be a time back in the day where families would get together and they would experience a show, a movie, and it would impact their lives, and it would bring them closer together. You know, I grew up on a little house on the prairie, of course, and it was that 1 hour that was so special to our family, where we would gather around and we'd experience something that truly did bring us closer together. Nowadays, we're all separated. There's 3+ TVs in a house. We're all going to our separate rooms to watch something. We're caught up on our phones doing social media. And so we're losing out on something that was so precious to me and millions of others growing up. And so we're really hoping that we can start a trend where families can get together and they can experience something together that will impact them, that isn't going to be cynical, that's going to touch their hearts and actually make them feel like better people or guide them towards being better people. And so we're hoping Home to Harmony is going to be one of those shows that can make a difference. And right now, we are in the investing portion, where we're hoping that like-minded people who care about family entertainment and want to bring it back can go there and participate with us, and bring this show to life. And there's a website that they can go to if this sounds like something they'd like to be a part of. angel.com/harmony.
Those people who love what we have done on One Calls the Heart can now join us as co-owners of Home to Harmony. We all missed the times when we got to sit down on a couch together and watch TV together as families.
Yeah.
And I watched Michael's dad with my family, Michael Landon Sr., as little Joe on Bonanza on Sunday night with my mom and my dad and my little brother. And it was a family experience. It doesn't exist anymore.
You know, I love Brian's passion. One, I didn't know he was that old, but I remember little Joe as well. I think 2 words come to mind: passion, and that's what Brian has, and all of us have a passion for people. One of my favorite quotes in the world was my mentor, and this is going to make me old, Brian, was Minnie Pearl. Wow. Her real name was Sarah Cannon, and my favorite quote of hers was, "You got to love them and they'll love you back." Mm-hmm. Talking about people and the audience, and talking about, I think, authenticity, and really, you know, considering why you do this. I've been a stand-up comic for 34 years. The sweet thing about this Home to Harmony idea is when the ownership is collective and there's a whole group of people, you don't feel like you're in this alone. And then when you sit on your couch and you go, look what I did. Look what I was a part of. Look at this creative process that I invested in. And then that ownership and that passion all collides. And I cannot wait to see how this goes. One, I have confidence it's going to go well, but I just cannot wait to see the comments of going, oh, I helped do this. Oh, I helped put that together. Oh, you know, I consider myself a movie producer now. And you should, because if you invested in this, you should absolutely feel like you have really done something well. And so I want to do well, you know, in my little part, so that you will feel proud of the work you just invested in.
Mm. Yeah, that's the thought that I kept thinking. Is I thought somewhere somebody believed in maybe just you, Chonda, early in your career, or When Calls the Heart, or just something, and then to have that sense of pride by watching, even if you're watching from afar and saying, some of that is because of me,
right?
Because I believed in it.
Yeah, I was just going to speak for a little bit to the power of what we all do as storytellers. Home to Harmony can help bring us home. It can help bring us home to a place of what humanity really looks like in its best nature. And so that's why I, among other things, I'm so excited about doing this.
It's a great comment, Ken. You know, Ken and I both worked together on a very big show called Touched by an Angel that was on television for 9 seasons on CBS, and a huge hit. And one of the things that was so arresting, and it's to your point, Ken, about the power of story and what story can do, we received letters and emails and phone calls way before social media was a thing, from people who were in dire straits. They were desperate. They were people in pain, people in trouble, people in crisis. And we got letters from people saying, I was ready to do myself harm. And I happened to turn on Touched by an Angel, and I saw those angels saying to me and to the people on the show, God loves you and has a plan for your future. And instead of do myself harm, I reached out for help at a suicide hotline and asked for help. And that was not just a couple of emails that we got. We saw that every season on Touched by an Angel, where people would send letters saying, your show stopped me from hurting myself. And I don't know another show on television who can say that they saved lives, right? But Touched by an Angel was one of those kinds of shows. And so was Highway to Heaven. And so is When Calls the Heart. And I really believe that Home to Harmony can be in that legacy of those kinds of shows that we've all been involved in one way or another. And so our hope is that people watching today will say, you know what, we want to be involved in that. We want to join you on that journey. We want to partner with you to build a new show that is going to hopefully change lives and maybe even save lives when it comes on TV.
So go ahead and share that website one more time, Brian.
Yeah, it's the website. They can go right there. They'll see a whole landing page. They'll see our torch there. They'll see a video from Michael and Ken and I where we explain the whole thing. They'll see all the options that they have to be involved in Home to Harmony. And the website is angel.com/harmony. Angel.com/harmony.
Jessie, I do have a question for you. Jessie, when somebody's going to invest, what do you say that person as an investor is after they've done it? They insist on wearing black and sunglasses even when it's nighttime.
I'm a little confused. I don't.
Jessie, welcome to Elliot Wallach's world.
I do want to say something. I don't know. Are we still recording?
No,
Yeah,
we're still recording.
Yeah,
You bet. As
good.
much as I can get of you is always good.
Oh, yeah, right. But I will say this about Home to Harmony. I live in Harmony. I live in a very small town. We have 3 traffic lights. One of them flashes. So that's rather the excitement we have of this town. I was the grand marshal of the Christmas parade, if that tells you how small this town is. That it is, we've just got a McDonald's and a Walmart, so we are really up there. All that to say, America is so much more than Hollywood. It is so much more than New York City. There's a lot of people in those places, but the majority of America lives in places like Harmony. And if you don't, you wish you did. You're always wishing, oh, the town's getting too big or the people are too crazy, And so I think that's what I loved very much about the script. And the little bit that I saw was, and Trent does that so well. To me, when he rode into town in his motorcycle, it looked like the Bronx had come, or New York City had come to my little town in Ashland City, Tennessee. Because everybody would know there's this stranger on a motorcycle with a collar, he's a preacher on a motorcycle, And so I just love that idea. But I also, not to be fussy about Hollywood or whatever, I just love the fact that this really does depict a whole lot of America. And so people in those little towns, if you want to see what living in this little town where everybody knows everybody's business, if you want to see what that looks like and feels like, then you need to invest in this.
Yeah, I agree. I love it as the backdrop of the story, and then at the same time, stories that everybody can relate to no matter where they live.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And I'd love to give a shout out to Philip Gully, because he's the inspiration behind Home to Harmony. He's a fantastic man, a pastor who has created a world for us that is just endless. The quirkiness, the insight, the wisdom, the love, he captures it all. So kudos to Philip Gully.
Yes, absolutely. And he's the pastor who does ride a motorcycle.
And he is the inspiration.
Yes, that motorcycle that Trent rides in on at the top of the show is a, what is it, 74 Triumph that Michael personally procured for us.
You can see right there on my whiteboard there, that's episode 6 of season 1 of Home to Harmony, in process right now. Work in process.
You're actually going to tell Hardys that behind you, these are people that have, if you give them any little thing, they're going to know where Jimmy Hoffa's buried. You're playing a dangerous game, Brian.
It's so tough these days for the Jessies of the world, between social media, what COVID did, all the angst, the depression, all these things that these teens are dealing with right now. I'd love to hear from Jessie just in terms of that world and what Harmony could maybe provide as a anecdote.
Yeah, that was something that I didn't realize at first, that my character Lily could provide as something that kids my age could look up to. Because, her mom passed away in the show and everything. And so her character, it just means a lot, because she's someone that other people can look up to and know that like everything's going to be fine. And after living through COVID and just everything that has been going on the past few years, I think that people can look at the show and like have that good aspect come from it. But yeah, that's something that I've really looked at with Lily, and how can I play her and be a role model for people.
Yeah. That's really well said.
So hopefully we can hit our target goal, and then we could proceed forward to finding the rest of the money. And once we're funded, we're greenlit, and we can go into pre-production. And that's why we're working hard to have all 8 scripts done. First season will be 8 episodes, and hopefully we'll be in production filming this year. That's our goal.
I just wanted to say that I'm so honored to be in partnership with Ken and with Michael, especially, and with Michael all these years on all that we've done together. And this is a man who lives what he believes. Michael Landon lives what he believes, and the legacy of family programming that everybody can watch is on the wall behind him. So people are wondering what that green jacket is, Michael.
Yeah, that's that was my father's hero jacket, Little Joe from Bonanza.
No kidding.
This is so moving to me that it's a living representation in Michael's life today on his wall. That he has his rosebud, right? He has his purpose for what he does on his wall in a case, which is what his father was all about. And he's continuing now with another generation of content, just like his dad did. And that's what Home to Harmony is in the legacy of that green jacket, in my opinion.
An anecdotal story is that with Little House on the Prairie, Hollywood, Emmys, my father never got one in all the years that Little House on the Prairie was on. However, the audience, the People's Choice Awards, he won multiple times. And so again, that just kind of reflects the difference between what it is that Hollywood is interested in creating and making for us, and what the actual people are yearning for.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
That says it all right there. That's the one of the things I really love about this, and where I really want to help any way I can, is you're putting the power back in the hand, not even back, I don't know if it ever was in the hands of the people, but giving them that power of choosing their own entertainment in a time where you guys, not you, Jessie, but everybody else in this, maybe not even you, Trent, where you had 4 channels and that was it.
Yeah.
And one of them was Lawrence Welcome. One of them was that thing at the end of the night that gave you like the national anthem, and it meant that the show was going off the air. And that was it. And it was those power brokers, those kingmakers, they put whatever they wanted on it. Now it's like you got so many choices, so many options. It's about time to give some of those choices and options to people that with that much entertainment out there, they're literally starving to death, spiritually and emotionally. Look at the impact with Touched by an Angel. Look at the impact with Wind Calls the Heart. I think you guys got an amazing track record. Let's go for a third. Thanks you guys so much for coming on the program.
Thanks,
Thank
Elliot.
you, Elliot.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you on set soon.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, there's another 14 days to get in on this round. You can go to angel.com/harmony to become a co-owner and really help bring another family-friendly television series to the world. I think it would be hard to find any team with more experience than we have in family-friendly programming. I mean, you've got Wind Calls the Heart, you've got Touched by an Angel, you've got Highway to Heaven. By this time next year, we can hopefully, God willing, add another to that list, Home to Harmony. And for me, I certainly hope so. Okay, so again, just go to angel.com/harmony. And when that day comes and we're all watching it, we'll be right here to talk about it on the Edify Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thanks for watching The Edify Show. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We also love to see your comments. Never miss a thing when you register for the newsletter at hardys.com, where people around the world are coming to support inspiring entertainment. And we'll see you next time on The Edify Show.